Jobs report shows some job gains in industries like healthcare, hospitality, and leisure, but concerns are growing about AI replacing some human workers. Major companies like Microsoft, Walmart, and Business Insider are laying off employees amid the rise of artificial intelligence in the work of that. One of the big questions is what jobs you think will be first to go and what layoffs you've seen so far because of AI.
Well, just this week, for example, Procter & Gamble is saying that it'll cut up to 7,000 jobs. Although they did not use the word AI, they used the word digitization and automation. So I think that sounds like AI because the positions that are at most risk are going to be positions that involve a lot of repeatable actions, data entry, data analysis, anything that requires you to sort through all sorts of documents at scale. That's something that AI can do really easily.
Is there's a such thing as an AI-proof job?
I think that the most AI-proof jobs are going to be jobs that involve a lot of human interaction because at the end of the day, AI can't really replace those interpersonal aspects of humanity. So just chatting with other people and trying to coordinate, trying to innovate together. Those are the actions that I think AI won't really be able to replace. But if it simply involves just rote memorization or the sort of communication that involves really basic words and phrases, those are the kinds of things that AI can do very easily.
And I want to run you through some specific careers, the ones we got asked about the most, just to get your take on how you think they will be impacted by AI or if they already have been. So kind of a speed round here. Accountants?
Definitely at risk. Accountants are in big trouble because data entry and analysis is very easily done by AI.
Data scientists?
Same thing. I think in some ways that'll be a little bit more insulated, if only because if you can do analysis that the AI can't do, that'll help preserve your job. But again, the AI very good at sorting through numbers and figures.
Radiologists?
What's that?
Radiologists?
Well, I think that medical positions depends on the medical position. I think radiologists are in trouble. But on the other hand, we already have a shortage of medical positions, medical doctors, for example. So I'd be really surprised if we see an uptick in unemployment in the healthcare sector. But I do think the AI is coming for some medical jobs.
This is a big one. What about digital marketers?
Yeah, I think that it probably depends on what kind of digital marketing you're doing. But if you are doing the kind of marketing that simply involves very basic creation of advertisements, that's something that the AI can do because AI is really good at creating visuals now. And so I think if that's all you do, you're going to have to find a way to distinguish yourself.
And what about graphic designers?
Another problem there because creating visuals, creating charts. Is something that AI can do really well. For example, you can just feed into it a database and say, please, create a chart based on this, and it can do that pretty well.
We're going to be talking today about how AI impacts the future of business analysts. How do you see AI affecting my field in the next few years? What impact do you think it's going to have on me?
I think it is, it is interesting, right? And I'll start with a dream. My dream is that as a business analyst, you come and what you have in your mind, you just articulate as a, natural language. Give me the top 10 products that we sold within the past 10 weeks. Right? It is a typical BI dashboard at the end of the day. Imagine coming and doing it that way and accessing to the dashboard straight away. Or the other part of this is that, you don't really need to go and do the data engineering. The system will build everything for you and you'll be able to start using that. That doesn't mean that the data analyst will not be there because someone really needs to still look into things like the data quality, whether it is using the right sources, whether it has the most refreshed data and such as well, right? And someone really needs to bring that context and bring that know-how from the business side into that and articulate what those results are. So the business analysts will be there, but their productivity will be uplifted. They are not going to spend time on what are these APIs or the data types that I need to bring in to be able to massage this data and show this dashboard. That will be really there'll be a catalyst from the generative AI side of things. We'll get to the results faster and we'll spend more time on activating the business problems and having more impact to it as well.
Dario, you've said that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20%. How soon might that happen?
Well, let's, well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. But just to back up a little bit, I've been building AI for over a decade. And I think maybe the most salient feature of the technology and what is driving all of this is how fast the technology is getting better. A couple of years ago, you could say that AI models were maybe as good as a smart high school student. I would say that now they're as good as a smart college student and sort of reaching past that. I really worry, particularly at the entry level, that the AI models are very much at the center of what an entry level human worker would do. And so it's hard to estimate, exactly what the impact would be. And there's always this question of adaptation. And these technology changes have happened before, but I think what is striking to me about this AI boom is that it's bigger and it's broader and it's moving faster than anything has before. And so compared to previous technology changes, I'm a little bit more worried about the labor impact simply because it's happening so fast that yes, people will adapt, but they may not adapt fast enough, and so there may be an adjustment period.
He was saying that AI can cause significant, in his words, significant change in labor markets, good and bad. He went on to say that most jobs will change more slowly than most people think. And then he said this, and I want to just read it word for word. He said, many of the jobs we do today would have looked like trifling wastes of time to people a few hundred years ago. But nobody is looking back at the past wishing they were a lamplighter. If a lamplighter could see the world today, he would think the prosperity all around him was unimaginable. And if we could fast forward 100 years from today, the prosperity all around us would feel just as unimaginable. For younger people, I should say lamplighters was actually a job. People went around lighting lamps on the streets. I think a lot of people may not even know what a lamplighter is. But do you think Sam Altman is wrong?
Yeah, so, I think there are some things I agree with about that, and then there are some things that I think are too optimistic. So, I definitely agree that, AI, if we succeed at it, can grow the pie greatly, right? I wouldn't be surprised if economic growth is much higher than it is today as a macroscopic phenomenon, right? That AI allows society as a whole to be more productive. So
let me just say, because you've previously in the past said you've described a future where cancer is cured, the economy grows at 10% a year, the budget is balanced, and 20% of people don't have jobs.
That's exactly what I was getting to, right? Where I agree with all the positive potential. I think that isn't wrong. But I think the quote you just flashed is maybe too optimistic, maybe too sanguine about the ability for people to adapt. People have adapted to past technological changes, but I'll say again, everyone I've talked to has said this technological change looks different. It looks faster. It looks harder to adapt to. It's broader. The pace of progress keeps catching people off guard. And so I don't know exactly how fast, the job concerns are going to come. I don't know how fast people are going to adapt. It's possible it'll all be okay. But I think that's too sanguine an approach. I think we do need to be raising the alarm. I think we do need to be concerned about it. I think policymakers do need to worry about it. If they do worry and they do act, then maybe we can prevent it. But we're not going to prevent it just by saying everything's going to be okay.